Announcing its latest quarterly results this morning in Tokyo, Toyota said that it expects its full-year loss would now be 3 times what it had predicted just 6 weeks ago. If this is all confirmed, the yearly loss would be the biggest faced by the company in its 70-year history. For the last quarter alone, from October to December, Toyota said it saw an operating loss of just under $4 billion US, with little sign that the market is anywhere near recovering. For the year to March, Toyota officials said they are now predicting a loss of $4.95 billion US, a sharp downturn from the loss, which was a third of that, about $1.8 billion, forecast in December. Toyota's operating profit, however, stood at $24.98 billion a year earlier, but it's now struggling to cut production after years of building new plants to keep up with demand. We've had a lot of stories on pirates lately, and we're beginning to get some feedback now. This is from the Straits Times in Malaysia. An increase in insurance premiums for ships sailing through the Gulf of Aden has sent many ship owners looking at alternative routes or service reduction. Some of the interesting things that have come out is the Gulf of Aden is about a 550-mile long stretch of water between Yemen and Somalia. Hijackings and pirate activities continue there, seemingly with no respite, and the fact that the navies of many countries in the world are involved. The hike in insurance premiums for ships that are transiting that area has ended up now with insurance rates for ships that are in that area approaching about 0.5% of the ship value, which can be considerable if a ship is carrying $300 million worth of crude oil on it. So what many companies are doing is they're diverting its service to go around the Cape of Good Hope. This allows them to save Suez Canal transit fees, which can typically run up to $600,000 for a ship. But they add another 7 days transit around the Cape of Good Hope, the southern Horn of Africa, and with the increase that time, they do expend more fuel, but the fuel prices have come down of late. So the balancing act is between the increase in fuel, the reduction in insurance costs, and the saving of the $600,000 through the Suez Canal. Result? Most people are going around the Horn of Africa. It seems to be the cheapest way to go. Interesting. Here's another interesting story. The other day out in California, a gentleman who apparently was 106 years old died. Why is that important, aside from the fact that somebody that old passed away? Well, this first picture will give you a clue. That's the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Herbert Jaime Hammerl was the last known survivor of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Mr. Hammerl still had crisp memories of the smoke and the ruin, and he used to appear every April 18th on the anniversary of the earthquake in a downtown area of San Francisco. And recently, as the year 2000, there were 16 survivors of the annual earthquake commemoration, I should say. It was held at 5:12 a.m. down at an area called Lotta's Fountain. It would mark the exact moment that the earthquake began. The last year, on the 102nd anniversary of the earthquake, Mr. Hammerl was the only survivor present. Gladys Hansen, who's a historian who wrote a book on the 1906 earthquake, believes that there may still be some survivors. She noted that San Francisco had a population of more than 400,000 people at the time of the earthquake, and that someone, somewhere, must still be alive. She said, every day I hear new stories, and I'd not be surprised, maybe not in San Francisco, but somewhere in the area. The now deceased Mr. Hammerl remembered little of the actual earthquake. He was only 3 years old at the time, but the nuggets he did remember became more important as the years rolled by. He said, I remember my mother carrying me down the stairs. He remembered staying in Golden Gate Park, where many of the survivors were moved to live in tents, while smoke filled the skies and rubbles lay heaped everywhere. Mr. Hammerl, who was born in San Francisco on January 10, 1903, said, we don't get an earthquake every day, so we celebrate the one we had. It was a beautiful earthquake. Well, it's very interesting to live to be 106 and have those kinds of memories. We wish you a pleasant weekend. Stay away from the financial news unless you absolutely have to. Stock market, we'll give you one last update on that. Stock market's still up about 180 points. So maybe we'll go into the weekend with a nice bang. We'll see you Monday. Thanks for watching.